Not only that, these two, the judge and his wife, gave him assault rifles that belonged to their daughter. That's what they're charged with. In the criminal report affidavit, he goes to a shooting range with these assault rifles, with a suppressor, with other known TDA members, and they're shooting. This is the last person that we want in our country, nor will we ever tolerate a judge or anyone else harboring them.
I'm just saying. And I've said this before. I'm going to lay it out for you again. At best, Pam Bondi is ignorant when it comes to firearms. And in most cases, I would say that ignorance on firearms topics is acceptable for your general person. But when you head the Department of Justice, over which you enforce firearms regulations, statements like this, which I understand were made on a fudtastical platform, almost said a bad thing, that was very close, for people my parents' age that don't know anything about guns for the most part, and just want to say, well, look how good a job they're doing getting rid of all them illegals. Good Lord, who would give an assault rifle to a... You guys get what I'm putting down. Either she is ignorant, which I have a really hard time believing that a woman that has risen to this level is ignorant and has been working here for a while, could be this dumb, or it's nefarious. I personally, due to her previous statements on the topic,
Let law enforcement come in and take the guns.
Personally believe that Pam Bondi is a gun control statist and has no business at this level of government. She should be excised. She should be fired. She is not qualified to be in this position because of these previous positions that she has made.
You want them to take the guns and
when they are
not go through 6 months of legal trials and everything
Exactly.
else.
For whatever motivation those are, she is not a principled Second Amendment person, and she has demonstrated it not only previously in tenures, but in this tenure as well. And anybody who goes out there and defends this woman saying, oh, well, you know, he hasn't got the Solicitor General yet, and hasn't got this, and hasn't got that.
She put the lives of our law enforcement officers at risk. She put the lives of citizens at risk.
This person cares so much more about law enforcement than the rights of American citizens, the civil rights of American citizens, that she is willing to do anything to advance that trend.
We will back the blue.
This is just another example of rhetoric that fuels that sort of thing.
A street chase, which is absurd that had to happen. But yes, she put a lot of people in danger. That judge did it. So did the other judge. Judge Cano is charged with, they were allegedly giving him assault rifles, AK-47s, AR-15s, with a suppressor, a known TDA member, letting him go to a shooting range to refine and perfect his shooting skills.
Today's video is brought to you by XS Sites. I'm out here today preaching the good word of the XS Big Dot site. If you don't like the XS Big Dot site, then you're wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I started using the big dots because I took a low light force on force class. If you've never had that experience, I could totally see why somebody wouldn't select that site, but it is my go-to site. They offer a whole bunch of other things out there, and XS has been a big time, long time supporter of the channel. So I very much appreciate them supporting the mission here at the VSO Gun Channel. Let's get into the video. So let me lay it out for you. I have a very difficult time believing that a judge in America, first of all, even owns a machine gun to begin with, right? Which is what would be required for it to actually be classified as an assault rifle. You're telling me that a judge went out and, first of all, acquired something that cost between $30,000 and $50,000 on the NFA market, and then took that exceptionally expensive thing and lent it out without your, they said, daughter's knowledge. Remember, those devices have to be domiciled either on a trust at a particular residence, or they have to be in the possession of the actual possessor. So either in a trust or the individual in those homes, right? In those residences or places of business, or whatever entity owns them, right? I have a very hard time believing that a piece of property that expensive was just allowed to go missing without its owner's knowledge. No, those are almost certainly not machine guns. They are commercially available weapons. She mentioned AR-15s and AK-47s. Now, the post-sample market that has since been created has generated some fully automatic AR-15s. However, those are not civilian transferable. So, just by the language here, this is another clue that these are not assault rifles, and this ignorant is making something out to be something that it is not. For the sake of clicks and eyeballs, she is throwing the Second Amendment under the bus. It would not shock me if she came out and said that we needed to do some high-capacity magazine crap or something like that. This woman is so out of touch with reality when it comes to Second Amendment things. She has no direction to even go in. She has to have her hand held and be told what she should think when it comes to Second Amendment things. Look at the scorecard, people. Look how many times the Department of Justice is on this fucking list. I am so sick of this person going around and saying, oh, well, we haven't had time to do all this sort of stuff, while she's on Fox News like every other fucking night. Whipping people up for what? The sacrifice of the Second Amendment for the purposes of other things, which is the MO of this administration. Was the last time, and it is this time again, going down on a fucking Tuesday.
I directed Attorney General to clarify whether certain bump stock devices, like the one used in Las Vegas, are illegal under current law. That process began in December, and just a few moments ago, I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns.